Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 255x5AFG mill finish aluminum thermal barrier saddle or threshold. This threshold, when it arrives to you, is going to arrive with two extrusions that are identical, and they're going to be shrink wrapped together. Two identical aluminum extrusions. We'll go over that dimensionally in a moment. A piece of rigid vinyl that's called a key. Okay. And then you'll get screws. You'll get plenty of screws. This 48-inch threshold that I'm using here for demonstration purposes has a total of 3 bags of screws. They look to be about a number 10 by inch and a half flathead wood screw, Phillips drive. Okay, so back to the threshold. You're going to get those three major pieces, the two aluminum extrusions and then the key. So they ship that way, probably because of, transportation considerations, I suppose. Let's go over this dimensionally, and then we'll assemble the threshold. Below this video is an image showing everything important dimensionally about this threshold. And this one extrusion here, you can actually get from Pemko for being a butt up or a half saddle type threshold. But let's go over this one. So you can see that this is going to be 5-inch. Then when you have two of these, that's 10-inch, and then you've got the width of the key that brings it up to 10 1/8. The overall height of this threshold, which is a very common height, is a 1/2 inch tall. There you go. Okay. Now let's assemble it. The key is not symmetrical. You can see from the key that the bottom of it here appears to be longer than the top, or this end. You got to put the long end in the top, the longer of the two ends. So you basically just take that and slide it into the feature of the extrusion. It goes in very easy. Okay. Now it's going to look like this. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our other extrusion. This is probably demonstrating the obvious, but I do want you to see the threshold when it's assembled. Again, slides in very easy. Okay. When you're all said and done, it's going to look like that. A really nice, really wide aluminum threshold. This is going to be used in installations where you need a tremendously wide threshold to span a situation. Now, a thermal break, and what that key does is that it gives, by virtue of its name, a thermal break between the two pieces of aluminum. The transfer of extreme temperature from the exterior saddle to the inside saddle is retarded by the fact that there is a rigid vinyl piece of plastic slid in there where no aluminum touches each other, and that's where thermal break comes in. I have witnessed these sorts of weather stripping in action, whether it be a thermal break saddle like this or a thermally broken hollow metal frame. And I'll tell you, it can be 10 degrees below zero outside, and you can put your hand on the frame, and that's 10 degrees below zero. And you come to the inside of that frame, and you touch that, basically room temperature. It's really amazing how significantly effective that thermal break material is. If it was my building, I'd use it everywhere. Because, here in Chicago, you'll very routinely see, your weather stripping really suffer on the inside, where you've got a coating of ice on the inside of that threshold. Not with something like this. It's just not going to happen. Now, this is available in different finishes as well. Your dark bronze, gold, I believe. And Pemko manufactures these thermal break in different variants of this as well. But most importantly, if you have need for a custom length, and I'm going to start to disassemble this now, If you have need for a custom length, by all means, let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. You know, the reasoning is, you know, each of these are relatively wide saddles. So the cutting of this is something you're going to need to do with the proper sort of tool. And this 4-foot piece, if you had to make it 40 inch, you'd get real close to eliminating that countersink. Then the next one's all the way over here. So if you order a custom length, we'll not only locate that first countersink at the proper distance from the edge, but the proper center to center as well. And it gets, you know, it's difficult to cut, you know, to cut through all this material unless you've got the right tools. You know, notching it alone around your frame would be probably enough challenge, but starting with the proper length is something that we'd be glad to do for you. Now, Pemko is a full-line manufacturer of all things commercial weather stripping related, and they do a great job with it. Saddles like this, perimeter gasketing, door bottoms, drip caps, full line of material made out of aluminum like this, architectural bronze, stainless steel. They have a full line of residential weather stripping as well, like kerfed-in weather stripping and wood adjustable top thresholds, a full line of aluminum continuous geared hinges, and filler plates for steel doors and steel frames. If you have any questions on the Pemko 255x5AFG mill finish aluminum thermal barrier threshold or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.